on YouTube, on the YouTube channel, and also the folks who are watching on Facebook Live. All right, so we're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about politics. I'm going to talk about some of these candidates, some of the people who ran in the mayoral election. I'm not going to talk too much about the council members because I wasn't really that interested in that. But I'm going to focus on the mayoral election, and I may just bounce over to the council occasionally. Anyway, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining me once again. It's the Ron Kelly Show every Thursday at 7 p.m. right here on blogtalkradio.com, on the YouTube, and on Facebook Live. So, okay, so we just had the election, the Paterson election. Congratulations goes out to Andre Sayegh, who finally, after 3 times, the 3rd time was a charm, Andre Sayegh finally won the election for the great city of Paterson. Now he is the mayor, and everybody has to accept it. Now I saw people making comments like, "Oh, I feel the same way I felt when Trump was elected." I mean, come on, give me a break. That's ridiculous. That is totally ridiculous. But the problem is with politics. I mean, you have to see the other candidates who lost. Rodriguez and Mike Jackson. Mike Jackson didn't even get 1,000 votes. Not even 1,000 votes. Even though he tore down the church, he tore down the chicken place and down on near the bridge, but he didn't even get 1,000 votes. See, because there are people who jump into these elections and you really don't know what politics is all about. You just really don't know. This is the Ron Kelly Show. I've been doing politics for years, and anybody, John Kerry, former Mayor Barnes, the one who just went to jail, man who just went to jail. I mean, so many people in most of the council, so many people have been on the Ron Kelly Show, and I've been talking about politics for a long time. So I know what I'm talking about here when we talk about politics. And many of the people who jump into the fray, who think they can win a election, are kidding themselves. Like I said, Mike Jackson, not even 1,000 votes. Mike Jackson should have came on my show. Mike Jackson, not even 1,000 votes. Not even 1,000 votes for Mike Jackson, which is, it's 1,000, just a little bit over 1,000. My apologies. Just a little bit over 1,000 votes for Mike Jackson. 1,003, according to the Passaic County tally statement of vote. Mike Jackson got 1,003 votes. Alex Cruz, the police officer, got 875 votes. Pedro Rodriguez had a respectable 3,500, and Alex Mendez also had a respectable 4,600. But see, you can't run a campaign without help. Okay, let me just establish that. You can't run a campaign without help because you need some help. You see, because the people don't decide who the mayor is. And some of you already know that. The people don't decide who the mayor eventually is. They just don't. Shout out to Lamont Gates, who's watching the program. The people don't decide who becomes mayor. And the people didn't really decide. The people vote, but they don't decide who becomes mayor. And you can't run an election without some help. See, because the people who did win were people who aligned themselves with someone else. Andre Sayegh won. Maritza Davila won. Lisa Mills won. Flavio Rodriguez won. Now, I'm not sure what Flavio Rodriguez's association with or affiliation was, but I know that shout out to Elvis Durham, church boy or church man, I should say, Elvis Durham. And Flavio Rodriguez won. Now, I don't know what Flavio Rodriguez's association was with anybody, but I know that Lalisa Mims did align herself with Andre Sayegh. And Lalisa Mims got a respectable 4,000 and some odd votes. See, so you can't, and people knocked Andre Sayegh. Everybody knocked Andre Sayegh. Oh, he's bought, and Paterson is for sale, and this other nonsense. You cannot run, and especially a citywide election, without help. Props to Ross Baraka, who destroyed Gail Janeyfield Jenkins, just an annihilation. And and you just, I mean, why? You just know Ras Baraka had too many connections, and he destroyed Gail Cheneyfield Jenkins. This is the city of Newark mayoral election. Destroyed her, just absolutely obliterated her. It was David versus Goliath, and Goliath won this time. So congratulations to Ras Baraka. And so you can't see that this is politics. See, what you have to understand is politics was built on the old boy network. Politics was, it's not about what you know, it's who you know and who knows you. This is what politics is about. And you cannot win an election without aligning yourself with somebody. And see, Andre Sayegh, he didn't win the first 2 times, but this time he had the right formula because he used to work for former mayor Bill Pascrell, who is now the congressman from the area. So he aligned himself with certain people. He got endorsements. He got the SEIU to endorse him. He got the Pipefitters Union, and he got all of these people to endorse him. And and at his party that he had the other night, I mean, everybody who's who's who from politics were there. Curry and Sheriff Burnick and everybody was there. And see, you may not like it, but this is what politics is about. It's about aligning yourself with someone. You cannot win an election unless you align yourself with someone. And see, this is something that Mike Jackson and some of the other people who ran for mayor didn't understand. I don't know what Mike Jackson was thinking, that he was going to win the election, because that horse had a broken leg before it even started running, And see, the other thing too is when you align your your spokesperson. Some of these Paterson mayoral elections were just a joke. They were a total joke because look at the people who were standing up for you. Look at the people who were just laughable, So congratulations to Andre Sayegh, who is now the mayor of the city of Paterson. The third time was a charm for him. Shout out to Aslan Gal, who did get over 3,000 votes. Very high total for Aslan Gal. Probably could have won a ward election with that amount. So congratulations to him, and a very respectable showing for Casey Melvin, who people got a lot of comments about his appearance here on the Ron Kelly Show, but he had a respectable showing as well. But you cannot run an election without somebody's backing. You just cannot do it. And Mike Jackson, now with the 1,003 votes that you got, that you're not gonna win an election without somebody's backing. You just cannot do it. And so congratulations to Andre Sayegh for his trouncing, really, of everybody else. And a little bit later on in the program, I'm going to talk about the voter apathy, because from the looks of this, there's 85,000 people in the city of Paterson who are eligible to vote, and a little more than 20,000, 83,000 people can vote in the city of Paterson, but far less than that actually voted. Far less. It was around 20,000 or so. So what happened to the other 60,000 people who I guess felt like they didn't really want to, felt like they didn't want to vote? So I'll talk about that a little bit later on in the program. But shout out to everybody who's watching. Shout out to Osman Shabazz, who was ripping me about Bill Cosby. And incidentally, speaking of Bill Cosby, the TV One is still showing reruns of the Cosby Show, and I support that. I support TV One showing reruns of Bill Cosby. I support that. I'm going to get back into this political thing in just a minute, maybe after the next break. But I support TV One. Set up the debate. Lamont Gates. Yeah. Shout out to Lamont Gates, the Flappable One. Real Social Talk was the name of his radio show that he had a little while back. And hopefully he'll come back on. He's a great talent. So I support, right, and don't complain. Shout out to Juanita Boyd, who says, don't complain if you don't vote. And see, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that about people, because a lot of people did not vote in this election, and it goes back to voter apathy. And most folks just think that, that voting is not going to help them. I mean, that's where a lot of people are. That's why you have a city of Patterson with 83,000 registered voters and only 20,000 people voted. You know, Andre Sayegh got 8,000 votes of a city of 150,000 people, and he got, I mean, it's pitiful. But getting back to Bill Cosby, and I just want to say this, I just saw Osman Shabazz, who's, I forget the name of his program, Oz is something, I'm sorry, Osman. But yeah, I support, you're talking about Bill Cosby, and I support TV One showing reruns of the Bill Cosby Show. I support that 100%. Yes. Now, I don't support what Bill Cosby did. You know, I don't support what Bill Cosby did, but there's let me draw a parallel here. You know, Ryan Seacrest of Kelly and Ryan, and you know, and the American Idol. I don't know if he's still doing that now, but Ryan Seacrest, who's a big name in the entertainment business, was accused of being of molesting someone. Ryan Seacrest, big name, lots of money invested in him, and that story died quicker than it lived. The story with Ryan Seacrest died quicker than it lived, and you don't even hear about it anymore. They buried that story so fast that they buried that so fast that you know, you don't even hear about it anymore. But you see what happened with Bill. Bill got destroyed. I mean, he got off the first time, but they came back and they retried him, and then he lost. Ryan Seacrest, Osman Shabazz says 33 women. Bill Cosby was buried for 50. What is the hatred? I mean, what happened to black folks supporting each other? I mean, you know, look what happened with, you know, the jury nullification where O.J. Simpson was let off. He was let go because the jury, you know, the jury was nullified just because he was black. Shout out to Bunny McKnight. But yeah, so Seacrest, that no charges were filed. Well, Lamont Gates says this. Lamont Gates says the problem with Ryan Seacrest is that no charges were filed. Of course not, because it's Ryan Seacrest. You know, it's Ryan Seacrest. And you know, and Osman Shabazz says he doesn't support the rapists. I don't support rapists because the victims were mostly white, and neither do I. Neither do I. But you see with this Andrea Constand, this lady, and I'm going to get back to the politics, everybody. I'm going to get back to my special Patterson because I got a lot to say. So I'm going to get back to my Patterson special in just a minute, maybe after this next break. But with this lady, Andrea Constand, kept coming back to Bill Cosby. She kept coming back. She kept coming back. She kept coming back. You know, so I don't support what Bill Cosby did, but I do support TV One continuing to show reruns of the Cosby Show. I support that. I support 100% the TV One, the black-owned cable channel is continuing to show the reruns of the Cosby Show, because the Cosby Show was, you know, that was the first look that America had. But prior to the Cosby Show, all America thought of with us was good times. We lived in the projects and we struggled. We was hungry all the time. Every week they were trying to figure out a way to to keep a roof over their head. And for years, that's what black folks thought about us. For years, we were project dwellers. None of us lived in homes. None of us were professionals, blue collar people, worked in garbage truck or whatever the case may be. And this is what white folks thought of us for years. Until the Cosby Show. You had the mother who's a brilliant lawyer, the father who's a doctor, obstetrician, gynecologist, OBGYN, and you had children who were, shout out to Ruby Cotton, shout out to Council President Ruby Cotton, the great city of Patterson, New Jersey. Shout out to her. Yeah, so you had you had, for the first time on network television, The Cosby Show, you had black folk, professional black folk who lived like everybody else. Because prior to that, all the shows were The Corner and The Wire and all of this stuff about black folks selling drugs and doing all kinds of nonsense. And then you had Good Times. Back in the 70s, you had Good Times. You know, so we were always, you know, project people until The Cosby Show came along. When The Cosby Show came along, it exposed America to another side of black folks, professional black folks who nobody's smoking crack. There's no drinking going on. I mean, black folks who are living just like regular people, because we were never thought to be regular people. So I applaud The Cosby Show still being shown. Shout out to Bernard Williams. I applaud The Cosby Show still being shown. I applaud The Cosby Show. I applaud TV One to continue to show The Bill Cosby Show. And Osman Shabazz, I don't support. No one knows that fit. So you're just a hater, Osman. You're an angry brother. You know what I'm saying? Osman is just an angry brother. I gotta check your show out sometime and listen to your hate. Osman Shabazz, former co-host of the Ron Kelly Show. Everybody was a former co-host of the Ron Kelly Show. But anyway, so it's about 24 minutes past the hour. You're listening to the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com. I'm talking about the election in the city of Patterson in this area. Again, congratulations to Ras Baraka, who destroyed Gayle Chaneyfield Jenkins, just took out to the woodshed and whipped her. Shout out to my boy Abdul Muhammad. I know you supported her. No, I'm not an apologist for Bill Cosby. I'm not an apologist for Bill Cosby, Osman Shabazz. I applaud TV One continuing to show the Bill Cosby Show, because the Bill Cosby Show represented something other than what Bill Cosby actually is. And every show actually represents something other than what the person really is. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know what the person does when they go home with these TV shows. You don't know. You don't know what the people on Blackish do. You don't know what, the football players do. These movies, people are actors, all right, well, okay, maybe he is, but I don't have that kind of hatred for the brother. You know what I mean? Man is 80 years old. White folks have made it apology. White folks have protected themselves for years. White folks have protected themselves for years. You even had the president of the United States of America, President Donald Trump, supporting somebody who was accused of being a racist. For senator in Alabama, Roy Jones, somebody who was accused of being a rapist. You had the president of the United States supporting this man who was a rapist, who was a dyed-in-the-wool rapist, where there was proof. And the president of the United States, Donald Trump, still supported this man. He still supported this man. Shout out to Derek Lee. So this is, white folks, despite what they might do, still support each other, and we need to do it too. I don't care about. Yeah, he should. 646-668-2838. 646-668-2838. Anybody want to step up? You want to challenge me? 646-668-2838. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back with more of this program. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com.
The views expressed in this commentary are not necessarily those of the Ron Kelly Show or R. Kelly Media LLC. We'll be back with more of the Ron Kelly Show after this. Broadcasting to the world. Hello. It's the Ron Kelly Show. The news you want.
Is the perception still that a black man with a gun is a criminal?
With the topics you need.
Marching might have been good for back in the day, but what kind of effect is marching having on society today?
Ron Kelly.
Black males 18 to 24 years old have the highest homicide offender rate.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
So don't get it twisted.
That's right. Do not get it twisted, Osman Shabazz. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com. Now, what does that have to do with anything, that I don't have any daughters? What does that have to do with anything? How do you know I don't have any daughters? You know what? 646-668-2838, 646-668-2838. A couple of people already suggested you should call in, Osman. And I'm not out here begging for callers, but 646-668-2838. You can call in, and we can we can come to a respectable conclusion to this thing that we're talking about here. Anyway, it's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com. The Ron Kelly Show .com. And check out my boy Bernard Williams. His reimagining for his company is called Media Plate. So check him out. Check him out. You can check him out on his Facebook page, Bernard Williams. His new venture is called Media Plate. So check it out. He may be able to help you. Video, audio, photography, and all that kind of stuff. So check him out. It's Bernard Williams. Check him out. It's Media Plate. So check him out on Facebook, on his Facebook page, Bernard Williams. All right. And also you can check out my homeboy, Keith Hall. He comes on Tuesday nights. It's called Universe of the 80s. And he's on from 8 to 10 Eastern time and from 9 to 11 Central time. All the music from the 80s you want to hear. And probably some 90s too. So check him out, Keith Hall, Universe of the 80s. And it's on the Fishbowl Radio Network, 8 to 10 p.m. East, 9 to 11 p.m. West. All right, everybody, back with me. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the Ron Kelly Show.com. My super special Patterson election nonsense that went down Tuesday night. And once again, shout out to shout out to the winner, Andre Sayegh, who I supported, but I didn't want to say anything about some of the other candidates, because they were running, and I didn't want to be kicking anybody else's back end, because I did go public with my support for Andre Sayegh. So so I didn't want to say anything about McCoy and some of the other people who just didn't have a chance. It's no problem, Bernard. You just didn't. Some of these people just didn't have a chance. Mike Jackson, and see, here's the thing. Like people like Mike Jackson, valiant effort. I'm not kicking his back or anything like that. You see, you have to be careful who you surround yourself with when you're running for office, especially local office. Because I do mostly national politics. I don't really mess around with local politics. I'm doing it today because I have a lot of folks who live in the greater Patterson area who do watch and listen to the Ron Kelly Show. So, you have to be careful of who you surround yourself with. And I think that Mike Jackson did make some mistakes in regards to who he surrounded himself with, because the people you surround yourself with can hurt your campaign. They can hurt your campaign, the people who you surround yourself with. And I think that Mike Jackson made a mistake with some of the people that he surrounded himself with. See, because you can't just take anybody on, and this is what happens in some of these local elections. They just take whoever has a pulse, and they take the person on. You can't just take anybody on just because they're willing to help you. See, and if you do take somebody on, you have to monitor what they do and what they say on Facebook. You see, because the people you surround yourself with, the people who you allow to post Facebook messages and stuff like that, though, you have to have some kind of control over those people. You can't just let them post anything they want to post. I saw some stuff going on with Mike Jackson's campaign, and I saw some ugly, rhetoric for Mike Jackson's campaign, for example. Some ugly stuff. That one particular person in particular would say, I'm not going to name them. They know who they are. That's why we carry $1 million worth of liability insurance in case somebody tries to sue me. But and I saw, if Mike Jackson's campaign, for example, I saw someone who, quote unquote, represented him was posting some pretty ugly stuff. Was posting some pretty ugly stuff. And you have to watch out who you put in your camp. You have to be careful. And I think that Mike Jackson was not careful with who he put. First of all, the campaign, you can't just, you have to be, first of all, you have to be careful about who you put in the camp. Secondly, if it's a multiracial city, you have to campaign to everybody. You can't have you can't have something tailored for blacks. Like there's enough black people in Patterson or Newark or anyway to get you, and maybe in Newark there's enough black people to get you elected. But in Patterson, you need more than just black folks. And I looked at because I have the thing right here of where who voted and where and when. And when you look at Andre Sayeg's vote, he had votes all across the board, all across the city. He had a significant amount of votes in every corner of the city. Whereas some of the people, like Mike Jackson, for example, had votes only, like the most votes were in the black community. Bill McCoy, because Bill McCoy was another one. I mean, just no shot. I mean, why Bill? I can't understand why Bill McCoy even ran. You know, I can't understand why he even ran, because he didn't have a shot either. You know, the campaign was boring, really. You know, he really wasn't saying much. But and this is why he lost, because he didn't. You know, you can't. This grassroots don't work. Grass only works in the backyard. There's no such thing as grassroots. Grassroots campaigns don't work, you know, unless you have somebody with some power who is backing you. No, because this is what politics is all about. This is what the founding fathers, hundreds of years ago, this is how politics was structured. It was structured so because you have to see, the voters of Paterson voted for Andre Sayegh, but there were other people who helped. People who liked Congressman Pascrell, for example, voted for Sayegh. The people who liked County Chairman and New Jersey State Democratic Chairman John Kerry, they voted for Sayegh. People who liked Sheriff Burdick, they voted for Sayegh. Keith Kasmark, who's the mayor of Woodland Park, he was there. There was another mayor who was there. All of these people collectively got Andre Sayegh to vote it in. And I'm not saying it was any corruption or there's there's something going on, but all of these people got Andre Sayegh elected. But Mike Jackson had nobody. McCoy had nobody. Rodriguez had nobody. Mendez had nobody. You can't run. You know, Sayegh also had Assemblyman Wimberly, and you can't win. You can't win without support, and that's what the whole thing was. This is what the politics was built on, and you can't win without support. That's how it goes. So you got to have somebody around you, because this is how politics was structured back, in the 1700s when the Constitution was written, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So so thank you everybody for joining me. It's about 24 minutes left on the program. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, theronkellyshow.com. Still light outside at 7, whatever it is. Still light outside. So, summer is coming. Had a nice few days, few string. We've been blessed with a string of decent days. So, it's going well. It rained a little bit today, but it's still nice out. Anyway, I'm not the weatherman, so let me get back into this program. So, again, you have to have some support in order to win an election. And, people saying that they feel the same way Trump. I mean, it's nonsense. It's nonsense. You feel the same way you felt when Trump was elected. Oh my God, it's just straight up nonsense, for real. I mean, really, you feel the same way you did when Trump was elected. I mean, what kind of nonsense is that? No. What kind of nonsense is that? So anyway, everybody, it's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com. It's on streaming live on YouTube, and of course on Facebook Live. It's about 23 minutes before the hour of 8 o'clock, and you're listening to the Ron Kelly Show. All right, so shout out to Tony Herbert, and if you haven't seen it yet, you can go on themorningstretch.tv. That's themorningstretch.tv. You can see yours truly was a panelist on the Morning Stretch TV show with Tony Herbert. It comes on every Sunday, although you can probably catch the replay of it. I mean, it was the second show, I believe, was this past Sunday. Third show, I believe. So you can check it out. It's the Morning Stretch. I was on the second show, so you can check me out, the morningstretch.tv. That's the morningstretch.tv. The Morning Stretch television show comes on at 10 a.m. on Sundays. You can catch it at themorningstretch.tv. That's themorningstretch.tv. All right, we'll take a quick break because I'm sweating and all. I got 3 or 4 lights on me and I'm still black. And I got on a black shirt, so I'm sweating like a dog. Anyway, we'll take a break. We'll come right back with more of this program. It's The Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, theronkellyshow.com.
We'll be back with more of The Ron Kelly Show after this.
Some statistics are surprising. Some are unbelievable. And some are simply unacceptable. Right now, nearly 30% of U.S. students aren't finishing high school. Nearly 30%. And that's the average. In many places, it's even higher than that. And fixing it is a responsibility that we all share. This is President Obama, and I urge everyone, not just parents, but friends and neighbors and family members, to take responsibility for encouraging the high school students in your communities, to support them, challenge them, push them a little, and do whatever it takes to help them make it through. Because this is one statistic we simply can't afford to ignore.
You can do your part by going to boostup.org and sending an email, a text message, or even a wake-up call to a student at risk of dropping out. Go to boostup.org and provide the boost that's needed to make it to graduation. A message from the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
The views expressed in this commentary are not necessarily those of The Ron Kelly Show or R. Kelly Media, LLC.
All right, everybody, welcome back to The Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, theronkellyshow.com. I guess Osman Shabazz decided, is it Shabazz or Shabazz? I guess Osman Shabazz decided not to call the program, but I did put the number out there, so, I'll stand up to any challenge. Anyway, it's, and see, I really wish that people would stop posting these incidents of racism or incidents of police misconduct. I really wish, because I've already pledged not to do it anymore. I've made a pledge that I'm not going to post any more. I'm not going to post any more videos of police brutality. I'm just not going to do it. And I wish, I wish there was, they put something on Facebook where nobody can do it. Because all it does, it really doesn't do anything because nobody is doing anything. And see, people talked about Kanye West and what Kanye West said about slavery being a choice. Now, we all know that slavery wasn't a choice. We know slavery wasn't a choice. We know folks back in the day had no other choice. But today we have a choice. Today we have a choice. We can stop police brutality. We can stop redlining. We can stop, a lot of the stuff that's going on. But nobody's doing anything. So he made a valid point that right now we are choosing to stay where we are. We are choosing it because nobody is doing anything. You make a little comment on Facebook and you go back to whatever it is that you were doing. Because I've seen people on Facebook who made comments about police brutality, and then the next thing you know, they posting a question about, well, do you like me? Who gives a damn? So I think that, why we are making a choice right now, today in 2018, we are making a choice to stay where we are. We are making a choice because we do have a choice today. We're not as restricted as we were back in the slavery days, So Salah Talamanke said, "I win." Yeah, but we're not as restricted as we were back in the slavery days. So today we are making a choice. We are, because there's things that we can do today. We can support the black banks. We can, support black businesses. And I don't mean just only black businesses, but toss a little of your money toward black businesses. We can do something about police brutality. There's things that we can do about what's going on in the world today if we can work together collectively, but we fail miserably to do that. And then we want to blame somebody else. Kanye West, his comments may not have applied to for the time period that black folks were enslaved, but what he says does apply to today. And that's what because people get all pissed off. And like I said, when you can't think when you're mad. You can't think when you're mad. Who can think clearly when they're mad? Nobody. So what Kanye West said, again, did not apply to the period of time where black folks, where slavery was legal, but it does apply to today. Because shout out to Cisco Sanchez. What he said, what Kanye West said, does apply to today. Because today we are, thank you, my sister, shout out to Sharon Allen Chambers. Today we are choosing to be where we are. We're choosing police brutality. We're choosing redlining. We're choosing, this stuff that goes on. We're choosing it because we're not doing anything. And people go on Facebook and post, oh, I'm mad. So what? Who gives a crap if you're mad? If you're so mad, do something. And our people, day after day after day, post these. I bet you could. Shout out to Bunny McKnight. Day after day after day, we post this stuff about police brutality. And no, but what are you doing? What are you doing? You see what the problem is? This is the problem right here. You see that? Can you read that backwards? That is the problem. That is the problem with black folks, because we don't want to do nothing for us. We sit around and complain and bitch and moan and scream about police brutality and Black Lives Matter, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and nobody's doing nothing. I call them the armchair activists. Armchair activists. You know what? It's easy to sit back in your chair and take your phone and post, oh, this is unright. This ain't right. But what are you doing? You're not doing nothing. And it just burns me up that people post this nonsense about these police brutality stuff on Facebook and then turn around and don't do nothing. So if you're not going to do nothing, if you're not going to be part of the solution and you're part of the problem, so if you're not going to do nothing, if all you're going to do is keep posting this stuff and talk about you're mad, who gives a damn if you're mad? Who cares? We're all mad. But you know what? Get mad enough to do something. Get mad enough to do something. So I just hide the stuff. I hide it. When y'all start posting this garbage about police beating up people, because I don't want to see that stuff. I don't want to see it. So when people say I have to hide you or block you, because I don't really want to see that. There's enough upwardly mobile black folk in this country today where we can start doing something. Just check it out. Look at the Innocence Project. Who runs the Innocence Project? White people. Who runs the Innocence Project? White people. Who gets black folks out of jail who've been railroaded into prison? White people. Barry Scheck. Barry Scheck was a lawyer. He was on the Dream Team. Barry Scheck was one of the Dream Team lawyers for O.J. Simpson. Barry Scheck was one of the Dream Team lawyers for O.J. Simpson. Founded the Innocence Project, where white law students get black people out of jail. You think that I don't know, think LeBron or Curry or somebody would donate some money to those people so they can help? But no. Look at I bet you the total net worth of the NBA black players only is probably in the billions. Just 3 players alone, just Curry and LeBron and maybe and one other person is worth $1 billion together. Just 3 people. LeBron is worth $400 million. Curry's worth $200 million, and somebody else might be worth $300 million. That's $1 billion right there. So, why is this freezing? Oh Lord. Okay, I had to switch, everybody. I had to switch because my phone died Anyway, I had to switch. Anyway, I'm back. It's the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com. I had to switch cameras because my cell phone died. That's what happened. So I'm back. So everybody who's watching, please come back to me now and check me out. Yes. There you go. Shout out to my boy Bunny McKnight. All right. Phone things happen. I forgot to charge my phone. Anyway, so we there's a lot that we could be doing. There's a lot that Black folks can be doing to help ourselves. We're not doing it. You know, we're not doing it. And so stop posting this garbage on Facebook if you're not going to do anything. Just stop posting it. You know, stop posting it. I'm sick of looking at y'all with this. Every time we turn around, you get the police yoking somebody up. I mean, is that right? No, it's not right. It's dead wrong. But come on. We gotta do something. Anyway, it's about it's about 11 minutes before the hour. You're listening to the Ron Kelly Show, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com. I know I'm kind of all over the place right now today, but I love my people. I gotta come on and do my thing. Shout out to Terry Price from Texas, I believe Terry is from. So let's do something. If we're gonna post, instead of just posting on Facebook, do something. Instead of just posting, whatever it is that you post on Facebook, do something. Just do something, and stop, with just posting this nonsense on Facebook. All right, everybody. It's about 10 minutes before the program is over. Once again, shout out to Ross Baraka, who crushed Gail Chainfield Jenkins, and Andre Sayegh, who crushed the competition. Anybody just look, let's get together. I don't live in Patterson, but I lived in Patterson for 13 years, so I know Patterson very well, and I'm fairly well known in Patterson. So everybody just get together, support the man. Your candidate lost, he lost. So that's it. He lost. So shout out to everybody. Sorry I lost the feed earlier. The phone just died on me. It's always something. I need a producer. That's what I need. But So all right. So again, you have to have some support. You can't run a campaign without support. And some of y'all, see, you got to do your homework when you want to. If you're running for office, look like I got a split screen here going on. But you got to do your homework when you're running for office. You got to do your homework. You're not going to just win. You got to do your homework. You got to travel around. You got to go outside. You got to go into the Muslim community. You got to go into the white community, Dominican, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, whatever place, South Patterson, East Patterson. Well, there's no more East Patterson, but you got to go to different areas if you're running for mayor. And I think that's what happened with Gail Chainfield Jenkins, that she didn't go into the other areas. And that's why she has such a bad showing, because she didn't go into a lot of those areas. So anyway, I'm glad that the election is finally over. Shout out to Pound. And what would have happened if Jane Williams would have ran? How would that have affected the election of Jane Williams Warren, who was the appointee by the city council, the former city clerk, was appointed to take over because they didn't want Ruby Cotton. And that's basically what it was. They just didn't want Ruby Cotton. And they didn't think Ruby Cotton, my good friend Ruby Cotton, they just didn't think that she was qualified to be mayor. That's all that was in a nutshell. Let's just keep it 100 here. They didn't think that Ruby Cotton would be able to handle the job. That's basically all it is, So they appointed Jane Williams Warren. Now, what would have happened if Jane Williams Warren would have been on the ballot? I think that would have changed a lot, because a lot of people like Jane Williams Warren. She's very popular in the city of Patterson. So, she might have won. She might have even won, because she's very popular. It's very well known. So somebody should be breathing a sigh of relief that Jane Williams Warren wasn't on the ballot. Ooh, boy. Anyway, it's a couple minutes before the program is over. It's the Ron Kelly Show. And it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com. Sorry I lost all of y'all when the feed died. I lost everybody when the feed, when the phone died. I lost most of my watching audience. So I apologize for that. We'll make sure that won't happen next week. And, once again, shout out to DJ Tiny, who does his thing on DOY Music Radio. It's every Wednesday night from 8 to 10, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's DJ Tiny. And it's DJ Tiny, and he's on DLY Music Radio. He plays house music. You know, the brother gets down. So you need to check him out. So check him out sometime. Wednesday night from 8 to 10 p.m. DJ Tiny, and he's on DLY Music Radio. And also my brother, Keith Hall, Tuesday nights. It's Universe of the 80s. Universe of the 80s every Tuesday night on the Fishbowl, on the Fishbowl, former home of the Ron Kelly Show, on the Fishbowl Radio Network. All right, everybody, I'm about to break up out of here because I'm like, ugh, I'm about to break out of here. So I want to thank everybody for watching and listening to and checking out on YouTube, et cetera, the Ron Kelly Show. And we'll be back here next Thursday with another edition. Maybe we can get Osman Shabazz to come in, and maybe we can get Osman Shabazz to come on the program and talk a little more about Bill Cosby and the hatred that's being visited on Mr. Cosby. All right, everybody, so we can break out of here. It's time for me to go. There's a couple minutes left to the program. So, I want to thank everybody who continues to listen to the Ron Kelly Show. Don't forget my boy, Bernard Williams, whose new venture is called Media Plate. And you find a smorgasbord of techno services. Just check out my boy, Bernard Williams. Bernard M. Williams, I believe it says. And his new venture is called Media Plate. So check him out. He may be able to help you. All right, I'm breaking out of here. Got things to do and stuff to take care of. So we'll see you back here next Thursday at 7 p.m. for another edition of the Ron Kelly Show. So until then, everybody, and stop posting that racism nonsense. And also remember, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice, and that we may not have it all together. But together, we can certainly have it all. Thank you so much. I am done.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.